What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds Barbecue. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you this, my set, everything I use to make these videos, as well as answer a few Q&As. Coming up! It's the beginning of the year, 2020 is officially behind us, and I thought now would be a great time to go behind the scenes, show you how I make these videos, go over all the gear I use, and answer some FAQs that I get asked on a regular basis. So that being said, that's what we're going to do today, starting with the question I get asked the most, which is all about this table. If you've watched my videos from the beginning, you'll know I've had this cutting board since the first or second video, and it used to be stacked up on milk crates on a table until I built this table. At this point in time, this is a one-of-a-kind table that I built out of 1-inch square tubing, fully welded on lockable casters, which makes it really easy to move around. Really not much to it, expanded metal bottom with some 16-gauge walls. Solid as a rock. As for the tabletop, this is a booze block. I got this on Amazon. It's about 24 inches by 30, I believe, maybe 36, but it's not attached, comes right on up, and this is a great cutting board. Time to hit that thing with some oil pretty soon. But as you can see, it's a pretty simple frame with some walls, and the cutting board just slides right on in, which is very nice. To clean this table, I usually go at it with some all-purpose cleaner, and then once a month or so, I'll hit it with some booze block oil, which I'm about due for. And this thing's been outside for about 8 months now, and has no signs of warpage or breaking or anything like that, which has been very convenient. And now for probably the best part about this table, let's talk about the burner. This double burner is made by Avantco. I got this one on Craigslist, but you can pick them up online for pretty cheap. It's a professional grade double burner, which is super convenient, and it hooks up to a propane tank. All you need to do is open the propane tank, light the pilots, and you're good to go. That's why I got this handy dandy blowtorch right here. Love this burner. Thing is great, especially because I'm so used to cooking on this style of burner at the restaurant. I gotta say, out of all the things I've built, this table has really been my favorite. The best part about having a burner outside like this is that you can cook a steak really hot and fast without worrying about smoking up the house or anything like that. As for the griddle, contrary to popular belief, I did not make it myself. This also sells online and is made specifically for this burner. It's just got a nifty-difty little frame, little grease catch right here. Fits right on there. This thing is great. Comes in super handy for quick breakfasts or burgers or Philly cheesesteaks. And it's also a great place for a tortilla press. That being said, is this table for sale? Not yet. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be able to get this up on the website. But first, I really want to get caught up with all the smokers, chud boxes, and tortilla presses that I have on the waiting list. So stay tuned, and I'll probably do a build video when I'm ready to sell this thing. Enough about the table, let's talk about the smoker. I've talked about it a little bit in a few other videos, but this is the very first smoker I ever built. I built this back in 2015 with old Cockburn out there. You can probably hear him welding in the background. But this was an old 150-gallon propane tank that I took the end off and put it right there. And this thing is a tank. It's been around for a good 5 years now. It has never failed me yet. This thing is way overbuilt. This smokestack is Schedule 40. Way overkill, but this thing cooks great. That being said, there's a lot of things I would change about it. This firebox is definitely a little bit overkill. And as you can see, the framing could use some work. The grates aren't framed in. They're just kind of floating in there on some rods. They're not even attached. The door goes a little too far back, and of course the thermometer is wiggling all over the place. I think about all the time whether I should restore this thing and make it new, but I kind of like looking at it the way it is in its rustic glory. Reminds me of how I got started. But if you want to see the new and improved version of this pit, you can check out the 115-gallon smoker I sell on my website, which is pretty much the exact same dimensions as this, except it's got the square V-fire box and the grill on top and proper grates and all that good stuff. I do some of my best work on this pit, but that's just because I've cooked on it more than any other pit. Now that we've talked about the table and the smoker, let's talk about wood. Believe it or not, my wood pile is completely empty. I'm down to 2 logs, which hasn't happened in quite a long time. Although this would be a great time to get the weed whacker out and get behind there. But have no fear, I've got a wood delivery coming, probably tomorrow. As for wood, I always use post oak. It's the wood of choice running through Central Texas. It's really mild, burns really clean, doesn't have too much of a smoky flavor, burns pretty hot. Love it, great for brisket. It really has that Texas flavor to it. If you can't get access to post oak, red oak, white oak, both work great. Beyond that, my second choice would probably be pecan wood. It's got a bit stronger of a flavor, but it's still pretty mild. I'm thinking about getting a load of mesquite in so I can kind of channel my inner Valentinas, but I'll let you know. As for wood sourcing, I've got a wood guy. It's the same wood guy we use at Leroy and Lewis, same guy we used at Friedman's. I'm pretty sure he does Terry Blackson, Franklin, La Barbecue, all the places around town. I've known him for years. But to find wood, it's pretty easy. Just hop on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. There's always people that have cut down trees on their farms and stuff. But that's my basic setup for out here. Let's go see what Cockburn's up to. What's up, buddy? Woohoo!
New Chud box, buddy.
Nice mini Chud box, bud. Who's this one going to? I don't know.
I know.
Jay Telecaster. This one's for you, bud. Still trying to finish this 115. Almost there. This guy's getting picked up on Friday. I don't know when these are getting picked up. Where are these going to? Oh, this one's going down to the valley, along with the Chud box over there. But shop's still pretty simple. Hobart 140 welder, couple of angle grinders. Just got this new chop saw though. This thing is great. Makes cutting square tubing a whole lot easier. Just made a pipe run today. Loading the old 4Runner up. Got a 115 on the left here. That's a 24 by 60 inch, 3/8 inch thick pipe. As opposed to the 20 inch, 5/16 inch, which is for the 65 gallon. I think it's about time I got a truck or a trailer or something. But within the next week, those will be turned into these. A lot of people ask me, when's the Chud grill coming? Well, that's the beginning of it. I built this back in June. Haven't quite finished it yet, but it's gonna be sweet. Hopefully by springtime it'll be done. Who's the PP? Who's the PP? A few days ago, I put a post up on my Instagram stories with an Ask Me Anything, and there was a lot of responses. Ooh-wee. I don't think I'll be able to answer all of these, but we'll start with a few. When was the last time you called your mother? Mom, I saw you like 6 days ago. Brisket cook on the Chud box? Definitely happening. Hey, there's Jay Telecaster now, buddy. Maybe I'll do one on your Chud box as soon as I'm finished with it. And by me, I mean Miles. What are you doing when you're not barbecuing or YouTubing? Yoni, best barbecue. Shout out. When I'm not cooking for myself or filming videos for myself, I'm usually cooking or filming for Leroy and Lewis. If I'm not doing that, I'm welding. And if I'm not doing that, I'm probably asleep. Will you ever open a pit shop or always be out of your garage? I'd really love to get out of the garage, have some more space, some better tools, some higher electricity. So hopefully, maybe this year, probably next year, I would love to get the Chud shop out of my house. How does that tortilla press work on smash burgers? Austin Food Guy, great question. The problem with the tortilla press for a smash burger is there's a lot of grease in a burger. So I'd have to make a tortilla press with some side walls and like a grease catch on it. Oops, sneak peek. Smash burger video coming soon. When are you gonna smoke some salmon? Rob the cack. Soon. I definitely want to make some smoked lox, some cold smoked fish, but I'm also thinking about starting a grill series once summer rolls around, and I think there's gonna be a lot more fish on the grill than on the smoker. But that being said, I grew up eating a lot of seafood and I need to get back to it, so soon. If you could eat one meat for the rest of your life, what would it be? Probably steak, probably a ribeye. Never get sick of a good juicy ribeye steak. Who's your favorite L&L employee? Frankie. Do you miss me? Cole Parkman.
Calling Cole Parkman.
Hello.
Hey buddy, I just wanted to call and say that I miss you.
Miss you too, buddy.
Aww. Do you have anything to say to the YouTubers?
Am I on YouTube right now?
Right now.
There's a snake in my butt.
More from the L&L staff. Sawyer asks, how's Sober January going? Great. Although I need a bubbly water sponsor because I'm going through a lot of these. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the next few videos come out when I'm not drinking Miller Lite the whole day. What camera is that? All right, let's talk about my camera gear. Now I have to break the one rule I set out to never break. I'm sorry for this. Mediocre iPhone footage. This is my camera. This is the, oh, that audio is terrible. So sorry. This is the Canon EOS M6 Mark II with a Sigma 16mm lens on there. Great camera, really small. I've got it in the cage here just to make it a little beefier for my hand. And also so I can have this hot shoe on the side for the Rode Wireless Go, which this is the other end of it. Nifty difty little wireless kit to plug into a lavalier so I can get some nice crispy audio. Got it on the switch pod here. This is what I shoot the intros on and shoot all the Patreon videos with and all that good stuff. This is my tripod right here. This is a Geekoto. This thing's great because it gets super tall. Don't ever need it to get this tall, but good for overhead shots. Oh, that roof. If any roofers live in Austin and want to come fix my roof, I'll make you some barbecue. Oh, that's better. Other camera gear I use is I've got this big old reflector that I hang from the ceiling because the sun sets right there. And as you can see at the beginning of this video, it was blasting me right in the face, but don't need it anymore. Also have this light. This is a Godox 60LW, something like that. And this thing is great. Nice and bright, real cheap, costs like 120 bucks or something. And nice soft box on there. Works great. Greetings from Holland. Love the channel. Hey, I used to live in Holland when I was incredibly young. Don't remember any of it. What inspires / motivates you? I just feel like there's so much out there that I haven't cooked yet. Gotta cook it all. D Brogan77 asks, where did you learn how to cook? I learned how to cook by watching YouTube videos. When I first moved to Austin, I was in my early 20s and I was out of college, and I decided it was time to stop eating like a college student. So I hopped on YouTube and I started watching Food Wishes, Chef John, and started following his recipes, and that's kind of where I learned basic knife skills and all the introductory culinary skills. From there, I went to Friedman's and learned a whole bunch from Evan, and yeah, just self-taught mostly. What beard oil do you use? I get a lot of questions about my beard. Contrary to popular belief, I do not just use beef tallow in my beard. This is my go-to nowadays. It's called El Patron. Got a good smell to it. Works really nicely. Black seed. City you haven't been to but want to visit, says Charlie Crisp. I'd really like to go to LA. Check out the California barbecue scene. There's some good burgers out there, some good fried chicken. Sounds like a fun place to go. Make a video on how to start, maintain a fire. Any tips? Yeah, there's a lot of questions about fire management. It's coming. I honestly just don't really want to do it because it seems like it's going to be a really boring video. But it'll happen, probably in February. I'll do it in February. Hold me to it. Recipe for chud rub. Wouldn't you like to know? How hard do you think it is to be self-taught through videos? Pitmaster good. How to prevent dirty smoke without losing much temperature. Start with a big coal bed. That's the tip I would give to anyone who's learning how to barbecue. Use your coal bed for heat, use your wood for smoke, and replenishing the coal bed. If you start with a big pile of coals, you're gonna have a lot of clean heat running through there, and then just add a log or two for some nice smoke. Is smoking wings overrated? I feel like they should be grilled or fried. I agree and disagree. I think smoked wings done properly can be really good. That being said, 90% of the smoked wings I've had have been pretty terrible. You have to do it like the turkey or the chicken, just really high heat, wide open door, super convection is what you really need for some crispy skin smoked chicken wings. I should probably make a video about that. But to your point, fried wings are definitely the best, followed by probably grilled or chud boxed wings. Then come smoked wings after that. So not my go-to method, but it is possible to make them delicious. Can you build a chud box with firebox on the side like an offset? I've thought about that. That could be kind of cool because then I could put a grill on top of the firebox and have this multi-cooker situation. Maybe I'll whip one up. When are you gonna start pushing trailers? I don't know. I don't know how to build a trailer. I don't have the right setup or enough space to build trailers. And with my tiny welder, I would not feel safe sending someone barreling down the highway with a 1,000-pound smoker on a trailer that I built. So I think I'm gonna leave that to the professionals for now. Is there a difference using coal to start your fire or going pure wood? Again, I highly recommend starting with coal. A lot of people think that you have to be a purist and start with only wood to have a good fire. That's a bunch of BS. If you start with wood, you're gonna be waiting for another hour or two just for the wood to break down into charcoal before you get any even temperatures. A couple videos back, I ran out of charcoal and I had to start a fire with wood. And it took 3 hours before I had some even temps running through there because you're just making your own charcoal at that point anyway, so you might as well skip a step and save some time. Where do you get your sausage casings? I definitely don't steal them from Leroy & Lewis. I go to the butcher shop and ask for a hank of casings. Best tools to get started building your own pit, flux core welder and an angle grinder. Still what I'm using now, works great. Your opinion on pellet smokers and have you used one? I have not used one, and I plan on making a whole video in the next week or two about my opinions and thoughts all about pellet cookers, so stay tuned for that. If my offset struggles to stay lit, is the smokestack likely the culprit? No, again, you're probably just not using enough coal to start it, but I don't know your pit, so it could be anything. What tips or advice would you give someone trying to build their first offset? I get that question all the time in emails and DMs on Instagram, people asking for advice on how to build a smoker, which kind of baffles me because I have a 17-minute video all about how I build smokers. So I would watch that, and if you have any specific questions, you can DM me on Instagram. But overall advice would be, it's really not complicated. You can cook meat in a hole in the ground, so anything you build out of steel is just gonna be that much easier. Don't overthink it. There's no exact science to this kind of thing, and make it your own. Would you ever consider hands-on backyard barbecue classes to help others learn? Yes, that was actually the original purpose of me starting this YouTube channel, is because I wanted to teach classes because I've got this backyard full of smokers, but no one really knew who I was. So I figured if I made some videos, showed people my style of cooking and helped get my name out there, then I could start teaching classes in the backyard. Then COVID happened, so maybe later this year I would definitely like to start teaching some one-on-ones in the backyard. Favorite cut of meat? I don't know. Lately, I would say Iberico Secreto. I've been getting that online and grilling it up. Very tasty. Very, very tasty. Favorite cut to barbecue? Probably ribs, just because they're so versatile. You can really do any flavor profile you want. Make pastrami, come on. A lot of people ask me to make pastrami. It'll happen. Probably in February, maybe March. Gotta do some pastrami. I'm kind of craving it myself. Favorite dish in L&L? Whole hog, probably. Don't tell anyone, but I think it's probably the best whole hog in the nation. Granted, it's also the only whole hog I've had in the nation, but it's really good. Crispy skin, gotta have it. Favorite thing to cook? Probably steak. Favorite beer? Ooh. Well, I'm in Texas, it's really hot. I'm always standing next to a fire, so typically I'm reaching for something light and crispy like a Pilsner or a Miller Lite. But I'm also a big fan of the New England style IPAs, because that's my neck of the woods. The Heady Toppers, the Sip of Sunshine. Ooh, if you're ever up in the Upper Valley, definitely get your hands on some Switchback. It's an amber, I believe. Probably my favorite beer. So good. If anyone wants to send me a case of Switchback, I would greatly appreciate it. Do you ever use a water pan when cooking? Not really, no. I've done tests with and without. I don't think it's necessary, no. Make a whole hog butchery video. Definitely gonna happen, probably just more for selfish reasons so I can fill the freezer up with some fresh hog meat, because that sounds real good. Maybe I'll do that for the year 1 episode. Can we get a mini chud box build video? Yes. Mostly, again, selfishly, because I need a mini chud box for the backyard. I just fired that one up in the garage yesterday that's finished, and it works so much better than the one I have. Because the one I'm using is the prototype, and that's my new design out there, and that one cooks way better. How the build's going, still 15 months out? Yeah, you saw the list in there. It's big and growing, but hopefully in the next few months I'll be able to spend a little bit more time in the welding shop. I know Miles is planning on spending some more time in there as well, so hopefully we can get caught up. What are your thoughts on reverse flow smokers? Ooh, I'm intrigued. I've never actually cooked on one, but I would love to give it a try. I have full plans on building myself a reverse flow smoker at some point, and then we can cook on it together, and we'll all find out. I notice a lot of people prick their sausage. Do you? Why and why not? A lot of people prick their sausage because if you case it link style, where you make one big loose rope and then go around twisting it up, you're gonna get a lot of air pockets in there. Then you wanna go through and prick your sausage to shrink the casing and let all that air out. But the way I case, really slowly and nice and plump, I don't have any air pockets, so I don't need to prick. Prick. Any other hobbies besides welding and cooking? I used to play a lot of music. I play a pretty mean ukulele. What's the next video? Probably chili. What is your favorite food? Probably buffalo chicken wings. Ever thought about investing in a plasma cutter or a CNC machine? Definitely, yeah. Hopefully within the next few months, I'm gonna get myself a plasma cutter. I've been doing a lot of research on them lately, so definitely need to get one of those so I stop pissing off the neighbors so much with all the angle grinder noise. Any plans for Chud merch available to ship to England? I really do want to get some merch. I need to get some branding done first, get some new logos, all that good stuff, but yeah, it's on the to-do list, hopefully down the road. Maybe end of the year. Did you go to Texas and fall in love with barbecue, or did you go to Texas because you love barbecue? I came to Texas and then fell in love with barbecue. You can check out my interview with Kevin or Yoni on their podcasts. That's Kevin Barbecue Joints, our best barbecue podcast, where I kind of go into how I got here and why. But long story short, I came down for a music career, ended up in a barbecue career. How do you cure a whole bone-in ham bone? Salt. Why don't you need diffuser plates or tuning plates in your offsets? Because offsets are convective cookers, and I don't want to have anything blocking the airflow. Why do you prefer pipe-style pits over tank-style pits? All right, let's get into that. There's some main advantages and disadvantages to both. On a tank-style pit, it's really nice because they come in the perfect shape. They've got these nice rounded end caps on them, and they come in the perfect size for barbecue tanks, whether it's a 150, a 250, 1,000 gallons, so on. The downside to propane tank pits is that they are full of poisonous flammable gas, so cutting into it with fire is incredibly dangerous. They're also kind of hard to source reliably, which is my main reason, and they're really dirty, covered in paint, paint and they stink. Pipe style pits, however, don't have end caps on, so you have to put end caps on, which are likely going to be flat, which is kind of a bummer for airflow. But as long as you use a collector style like I have on this one or all my pits, you're going to move that hot spot back a little bit, and it's really going to help with airflow and not be too much of a problem. Beauty of pipe style pits is that they're sourceable, especially for someone like me who's trying to sell multiple of the same version. I can go to the pipe supplier and ask for 4 feet of 20-inch pipe, and they'll cut it off and give it to me. As opposed to if I was trying to sell 150s like this, I'd have to search Craigslist or drive out of state, go all over the place to try and find the same exact size propane tank, and then I'd have to go pick it up, haul it back. So from a production standpoint, it's a lot easier to do a pipe style for me. Also, they're cleaner because I'm in a residential area. I don't want to be cracking open propane tanks all the time. But if you're doing a one-off, I would probably get a propane tank. If you're trying to start a business, I'd probably go pipe style. But you also have a little bit more versatility with pipe style because you can choose thickness. But again, it's a little more work because you have to put end caps on them. So that's about it. Thoughts on PK grills? I would love a PK grill. I really like the way they look. They seem like a cool company. I love how they've got their own design. I've never cooked on one, but I think they're really cool. So if someone wants to send me one, I would greatly appreciate it. If I was gonna buy a grill, that's the grill I would buy, but I happen to make grills, so I'm probably just gonna build my own. Favorite cut to cook for friends and family? My favorite thing to do is fire up a mini Chud box or a 65 gallon. I've usually got a few of those floating around the garage, and then just cook a whole bunch of meat. Throw some ribs on there, which take about 5-6 hours, and in that time, you got plenty of time to cook up some chickens, throw some jalapeno poppers on there, maybe do a tri-tip or a picanha. Those are some really good ones, but roasts, ribs, that kind of stuff, and then a bunch of little snacks along the way. That's usually what I do with my friends. How does one find the right firebox size for their DIY pit? If it's a smaller pit, like what I'm making, you can usually aim for between 1/3 and 1/2 the length of your cook chamber. For bigger pits, honestly, you can pretty much just eyeball it. You want to make it big enough that you can have a big fire, move it back and forth, but not so big that it looks ridiculous. New York style pizza or Chicago deep dish? New York, all day long. What's your opinion on folks following along with your recipes using pellet smokers? Hey, if you're cooking outside, you're a friend of mine. Just bought a rotisserie gas smoker. Can't get the same results as in my 250. Why? Because wood has flavor. What was your motivation for starting a YouTube channel on top of your day job and pit building? There's just a lot more creativity that you can have when you're just doing one-off videos as opposed to being at a restaurant or a business where everything has to make sense financially, food cost-wise. You know, I've never cooked half the things. I never cooked oxtail or a rack of lamb before starting this YouTube channel, so it's just another creative outlet, really. Which is better for airflow, elbow style or smokestack collector? Depends on your pipe. If you're using a tank with a rounded end, especially a hemispherical end, you can totally get away with an elbow, which I really am jealous of because they're prefabricated, they're pretty cheap. You can just pick them up, cut out a hole, pop them on there, done. As opposed to collector style, which you have to fully fabricate. But on pipe style pits like what I make, it's got a flat end, so you really need some collector on there to help move the hot spot back and reduce the amount of back pressure. So long story short, if you're pipe style, collector. If you're a round tank, use an elbow. Are you working on a medium-sized Chud box? Yeah, that's definitely something I want to do. A 3/4 size, maybe like a 2 foot by 3 foot wide, I think would be really cool. But again, I got to get caught up with the rest of the pits before I start introducing new stuff to the party. First smoker I ever used was a Brinkman water smoker, electric pit. Had with the lava rocks in the bottom. Had no control over temperature or anything, but you just throw wood chips onto the heating element. Not ideal, but worked, got me going. What thickness of steel do you use on the Chud box? 1/8 inch thick steel on the Chud box, although I'm contemplating making a mini Chud box kind of pro version where I upgrade the steel, put some bricks in the bottom, that kind of thing. What's it like? It's about 66 degrees. So you use off-brand and quality meats. Does it matter as long as it's a good cut? Always try and get the best quality meat. If you get a select brisket, you're in the turd polishing business, as opposed to if you get a quality piece of meat, then you're just adding flavor. So whenever possible, I like to reach for the best quality I can. Although I understand that not everyone who watches my videos can source the things I can, so that's why I try and put in some commodity and other grades of meat as well. What's your proudest accomplishment of 2020? Probably helping Leroy and Lewis get through 2020. We're a team of 6 or 7 people, and we just made it through the hardest year that small business has faced in a very long time. So that was a really proud accomplishment, and I can't wait to keep going. Top 3 goals of 2021. Ooh, I want to start making a second video a week. I want to get caught up with my pit building list so I can stop telling people I'm 2 years out. And I want to make the top 50 list, top 10 with Leroy and Lewis, Texas Monthly. Where's the beef cheek video? I want to wait until we do the Patreon video for the beef cheeks because it's a Leroy and Lewis dish. So once we get that out of the way, maybe at the end of the year I'll do one that's more aimed for the home cook. Will you develop your own line of rubs? Eventually. That's pretty far down on the to-do list, but I'd like to do it eventually, yeah. Any tips for someone contemplating trying to start a career in barbecue? Start cooking, don't be a dick, don't have any secrets, and find your own voice, be unique. When are we getting the fried chicken video? Ooh, I've been telling people for a long time, if I ever hit 1 million subscribers, my 1 million subscriber video will be fried chicken. What is your favorite non-barbecue dish? Non-barbecue, non-grilling, non-fire? Probably polar opposite. I'll probably reach for some sushi or some poke or something. What software do you use to edit your video? Believe it or not, I edit all my videos on my iPad Pro here. This is Premiere Rush, the program I'm using, which is pretty basic. It's about on par with iMovie. But as you can see, there's a bunch of tiny little clips in here, and just that's how I make my videos. Nice and plump. Again, I plan to upgrade my editing system and get a new computer this year, if fundage allows. So hit that subscribe button, help me out. What is the best way to clean a pit? Get yourself a bench scraper or a shovel and simply just scrape all the chud out of there. No need to use chemicals or anything like that. If it's really bad, a pressure washer can come in handy, but really you just gotta scrape all the creosote and everything off the doors, scrape all the fat and everything out of there, call it a day. Beef jerky video, definitely gonna happen. No questions, just love the content. Aw, thanks, Chadwick. One more. When are you gonna start shipping those beautiful tortilla presses? Hopefully soon, within the year. I need to figure it out. I need to get some free time on my hands to dedicate to tortilla press shipping, but it's on the to-do list. I really hope to get to it soon because they're small enough to ship, and I think the demand is there. Whew. All these questions are making me a little hungry. Ooh. Boop. Oh, that's a good smash burger. Yeah, I definitely gotta make a video on these. That's phenomenal. All right, y'all, and that's it. If I didn't get to your question this time around, I do apologize. I'll try to get to it next time. Let me know in the comments below if you like this style of video and you want to see more content like this. Maybe I'll do a live stream or something like that. While you're down there, let me know what you want to see me cook next. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It's the only way to support me and keep me making videos. Be sure to head over to chudsbbq.com for all pit inquiries, prices, waitlist, all that kind of stuff. I wish you all the best in 2021, and until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!